Hey everyone, it's Adam Mitchell here with Treasure Trading, and after 2 months of not posting, we're back with another trade recap. I was finishing up my master's program and I have a full-time job, so I took some time off of making videos, but now I am back and I'm excited to be back making videos. So yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and leave a like. All right, so let's get into today's video. So my last video that I posted was on July 12th. So let's go over my trader view stats since July 12th. All right, so from about May 15th until my last video posted on July 12th, I made about $1,800. So that's not bad, right? We can see this nice trend up. And then if we look at July 12th until now, this is what the chart looks like. In total, I've lost about $760. But we can see here from July 12th until July 26th, I made about $1,000. And then off of these highs, I've just been trending downward. And we can see I've had some pretty big red days. And those red days really threw me off. I didn't cut my losses when I should have. I got emotional and I just didn't trade well on those days, which is why currently I am sized down. So moving forward, until I truly can prove consistency with my strategy and with my trading and managing risk and so on, I'm only risking $20 per trade. My daily profit target is between $60 and $100, and my daily max loss is between 40 and 60. So that's the framework that I'm going to be working with until I can prove consistency. And also because I'm still below that PDT level, I've got about $23,000 in my trading account, and I really hate running out of buying power, which is what happens when you use bigger size. You run out of buying power more quickly. So with the size that I'm currently using, it's as if I'm trading above PDT. I can get in and out as I need to and not worry about buying power. But I did run out of buying power this morning, but I did take a lot of trades as well. But we can see here since May 15th how I had this nice run up. I was up about $2,800 since May 15th, from May 15th until July 26th. I was trading pretty well. And then I had these two back-to-back really big red days. I lost 834, and then I lost 477. Then I had another big losing day on August 26th of 725. And, we can just see these massive drop-offs in my profit curve. And then, right here from August 11th until August 24th, I was, it looked like I was trending back upward. And then, this big loss came about. And yeah, I've just been trending downwards since July 26th. So yeah, that's where I'm currently at. I am hoping to start trending upwards again. But yeah, so with that being said, let's get into today's trades. So today I'm ending the day up $13.90. I traded 3 stocks, INM, RGLS, and VYTX. Today was a frustrating day. There was a lot of opportunity. I didn't capitalize on it like I wish I would have. But at the same time, there was also a lot of opportunity to lose. And, I managed my risk well. I took good entries. I think my main mistake is that I didn't hold my trades to my profit target long enough. But yeah, let's go over my trades on these 3 stocks. All right, so the first stock we're going to look at is RGLS. So RGLS. So I've got these levels mapped out here. I've got the pre-market lows right here, and then I've got this pre-market pivot level right here, right? So the lows here are about 185, and this level here is about 210, right? Because we have this double top right here at 209. on these two candles. So I'm thinking that we're going to get a move from this level all the way up to this level. So I bought it right at the open. I bought 200 shares at 187. It's popping up, and then right there we can see that it sells off. And I go ahead and stop out right here. Now, I don't think that was, that in hindsight was not the correct thing to do, right? Because we came into that level, right? And this could have been a place where I could have been buying originally, was for the dip into this line. I lost about $6 on that trade when I sold it, right? So this is the 1 minute chart, and we were just looking at the 5 minute. So this is the 5 minute, and this is the 1 minute. So I sold it right in here, which really makes no sense because it came right into this line and it bounced off of it. I shouldn't have sold it. All right, so we're coming up into this level now of 196. We've got this double top at 196. And then fast forwarding, it makes this drop off back down into this support level. And this could have presented another buying opportunity, which I took this trade, right? So I got 200 shares at 189. And, this level is 185. It would have been better to get that entry closer to this line here. But I said, all right, this is still a good place to get in, right? Because we're ultimately looking for this move up to 210. So I got in 200 shares. Now we're looking for that squeeze up. So right here, we have this double top at 192. Now I'm thinking that if we break 192, I'm going to get in with another 200 shares. And that's exactly what it does. So right here, it breaks. And now I'm in with a total of 400 shares at 191. And I'm going to be stopping out if it cracks below this support level, which that would have produced about a $20 to $25 loss, right? 400 shares, 5 to 6 cents per share. That would have been $20 to $25 worth of a loss. So I'm positioned well. Now we're looking for a squeeze up, to VWAP, which is this pink line, and then ultimately up to this yellow line. And, right here, we can see that I've got an order to sell half at VWAP, right? Because I'm looking for this thing to just squeeze up into VWAP. I'll sell half. And then maybe if we continue to squeeze up, I'll sell the rest up here. So right there, it's squeezed up to a 198. It squeezed up to a high of 198 in this candle, and then it backed off. But I'm still holding it because I'm still thinking that we're going to get that curl up. And so it's bouncing off of that level. I put my sell order back out there to sell half at 202. So we're not squeezing up right as I wanted it to. And in this range, I go ahead and I sell it. I sell the whole thing. I made about $10 on that trade. I went from being down $5 to being up $5. But man, that was not the right decision. Because as we can see here, off of that level, it continued to push up. And now we're approaching $2 a share. And we got that crack up to 203, right? Or that pop up to 203. And I keep getting in and out in this range because I keep thinking, all right, we're squeezing up, we're holding up, we're making that move up to 210. Oh man, I'm just really not trading this well at all, right? I keep getting in and getting out, not holding it and waiting for my profit targets. So I was in down here, 191 with 400 shares, and we're up at 203 now. Oh man, it's just so frustrating. So yeah, I had gotten back in and it didn't make that pop up that I wanted it to. And so I just wound up selling it. So after those trades, I was, pretty much break even on this stock. So fast forward a little bit more, and now we're making that squeeze up to this level. And I'm just like, dude, why? Why couldn't you just hold it? Why couldn't you just hold it till your profit targets? So it's pretty frustrating. It's like I had the right idea and we made that nice move up. And then here I took a good trade. I took another good trade. I got another good entry on this thing. So we made this dip down into the $2 range and into the 9 moving average. I bought 380 shares at $2. So at this point, I'm really looking for this thing to squeeze up and touch this yellow line. It's squeezing up, and let's see. I wind up selling it, and I locked up $22. I only made like 5 or 6 cents on that trade or something like that. So fast forward even more, right there, it breaks up through that level, and it hit a high of 212. So it's like, man, I had the right idea. I just got chopped out. I sold it when I shouldn't have, man. Ugh, it's so frustrating. All right, let's see what else happened. All right, so looking back at RGLS, so we're looking at RGLS again here. So I'm looking for this thing to pull back into the $2 range again. But yeah, like we can see here, I mean, dude, from this level, it squeezed all the way up to this level, which is what I was thinking it was gonna do, right? It's like, man, Adam, it's like you got the right ideas, you just need to execute your trades properly. All right, so RGLS, this is the 1 minute chart, right? We were just looking at the 5 minute, which is right here. Right, so I was looking for this thing to make a pullback into the $2 range, which it did do. It did it right here. So on this dip, I got in at $2 with 300 shares. And I was looking for this thing to curl back up into this yellow line again and potentially even squeeze up into this line up here, at 224. So we're kind of chopping around, and I just went ahead and sold that position. I lost like $6 on it. And, here it is again. It's just kind of going sideways, but it's bouncing off of this 198 level, right? Like right here. And so here's the 5 minute chart, right? So we got this bounce off of these lows here, and we're making our way back up to that 210 level. So let's pull up the chart on RGLS to see what it did here. So off of this level at $2, it made that move back up into that line. And then it sold off, came down into the lows a bit, and now we're back up, approaching this yellow line again. And I'm just like, man, dude, just leaving so much money on the table with these trades. It's so frustrating. So that was RGLS. Let's look at the next stock I traded, which was, let's see, VTYX. Let's look at VTYX. All right, VTYX. So looking at the chart here, right, we've got the pre-market highs of 39.59. And then I've got all these other areas mapped out as well. And so we can see price is coming into this area here, and I'm about to go ahead and buy 15 shares. So, because we can see that it's bouncing off of this level, and I'm thinking that maybe we could get a push up to this line here, the pre-market highs. So I buy 15 shares at 37.50, and we are kind of holding it, kind of breaking through it, and we get an even bigger pullback into the 9 moving average, which I added another 15 shares. So I'm in with a total of 30 shares at 37.14. And now I'm looking for this thing to rip up into the pre-market highs. So it's kind of squeezing up a little bit here, and then we kind of backed off of that level. And I went ahead and sold it, and altogether I locked up a $15 loss. So that wasn't good. That wasn't great. And this thing wound up squeezing up, I think, to 38 something. Let's see. So we can see right here that it did wind up making a nice push up to 38.25. I was in 30 shares at 37.14. So that could have been a nice $30 winning trade, right? And with my profit target being between $60 and $100, I really need to get good at taking profit, right? Like if I'm up $20 or up $30, right? Like all I need is a couple of trades like that, and I'm falling within my profit target for the day. And so a move like this, I could have added to that profit target, right? Added to that on the way to the profit target. I didn't make anything on this move. In fact, I lost on it. Another frustrating trade. So VYTX or VTYX. So this was the area that I traded it. It kind of just went sideways here, made a nasty flush right here. But it came down into this line here, which is interesting, right? This pre-market level that I had mapped out. It squeezed up, got rejected, and came down into this line. This could have been a good buying opportunity here, because then it ramps all the way back up. And now we're coming into the pre-market highs, right? You know, this is where I wanted this to come to originally, but, you know, went through all this nonsense first. And now we are up at the pre-market highs. And I'm thinking that if it breaks this level, I'm going to get in. Because if it breaks this level, there's a high likelihood of a big squeeze. So let's see. There's the break. I got in with 30 shares at 39.69 because the pre-market highs were 39.60. And so I got in with 30 shares, and now I'm just looking for this thing to squeeze up and just ride, right? But we're coming up into this $40 mark, which I'm thinking $40, that's a nice round number. We might have a lot of resistance at that level. So I go ahead and cut this trade, pretty much break even, I think. You know, I lost a couple bucks on it. So I'm down about $17 on this stock altogether. And then right here, we can see it holding up. And now it's broken above $40 a share. And I'm thinking, okay, this looks good for a squeeze, man. Like, this looks good for like a $3 to $5 squeeze maybe, right? Maybe up to $45 a share or something like that. So I'm about to get in with 30 shares again. And I'm only looking to hold this thing for maybe $2 a share, right? So, oh yeah, and unfortunately, I ran out of disk space on my hard drive while this was recording, and it cut off towards the end of my trading day. So we don't really get to see what happens, but I got in with 30 shares at $40.15. I'm thinking, all right, let's just get a move up to $42. Because then I'll make like 50 to 60 bucks, and that'll put me at or above my profit target for the day, and that'll be a good day. So I'm waiting for this thing to squeeze up to $42. I'm in at $40.15 with 30 shares, and there we go. We're getting a nice squeeze up. We came up into $41 and backed off of that level. And like I said, the footage ended, but let's pull up the chart here to see what it did. VTYX. So it squeezed up to 41.29, and it sold off of that level pretty hard. And I wound up getting out break even. And in total, I lost about $14 on that stock. And as we can see, it didn't go up any higher. It sold off, unfortunately. And I didn't get that move that I was wanting, right? But, you know, this would have been a great move off of this level from $35 all the way up to 41. I mean, that's a pretty big move there. I missed out on some good profit on this trade. But like I was saying on the trade before this one, you know, all I need to do is lock up like $20 to $30 per trade and just do that a few times, and I'm at my profit target. And I was up, you know, about $30 on this trade, and I should have just sold it. And also, you know, a rule of thumb that I use is that when a stock moves anywhere between 10, 15 to 20%, it needs to make a pullback, right? So this was a nice big move here. So realistically, to expect it to continue to push up higher, you know, that's not realistic, I think. And I should have recognized that and sold it into this push here. But I just wanted it to move up to $42, and we hit a high of 41.29. You know, it just didn't make it up to 42. So that was VTYX. Let's go to my last stock that I traded, which was INM. Now, INM is the big mover of the day. So much profit to be made on this stock. So let's go to my first trades on that stock. All right, INM. So we're looking at INM right here. We had this move on it. Now we're backing off and we're kind of just going sideways. So right here, it makes a nice crack. And we're coming into this mapped out support level. So we make this crack and now we're decelerating on the move down and it looks like we're holding up. So I'm about to get in with, let's see what I do here. So I got in with 40 shares at $13.91. So now I'm looking for this thing to maybe make a squeeze up to $14.50. So we're making a squeeze up here. And let's see, I sold it right there. And I locked up $11 on that move. So, you know, I sold it there because it was finding resistance at the 9 moving average. And I was thinking maybe we could get another dip down to this level. But I think I shifted my focus to a different stock. But let's pull the chart up on that one and see what it did here. All right, so this is the area that I traded it. We made this move up here, and now we dipped down again into the low of day, and then we squeezed up, and we came up into VWAP. Right, so this would have been a good trade from the lows up into VWAP. And then we kind of backed off of VWAP again, and now we're coming up and testing VWAP again. And now we're going to see if we can hold that level. So this candle here, okay, it looks like we're holding. We're coming up into 15. All right, we've just broke 15. Let's see what we can do. And it just continues to squeeze up. And now we're coming up into high of day, right? But we made this big squeeze from 1460 all the way up to 1628. And let's see what this thing continued to do. So here we go. I mean, wow. 1945. So we hit a high of 1945 on this stock. You know, so if we look at the 5-minute, you know, we can see a nice ABCD setup here. A, B, C, D, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We made nice bounces off the lows. We're making ascending lows. Now we're breaking VWAP here, and now we're squeezing up big. And we've just been grinding higher since. And again, you know, this is more opportunity left on the table. Oh, man, so lots of moves today. Lots of opportunity. I just wasn't able to really capitalize on it in order to hit my profit target, which is unfortunate, right? Because every day I want to be hitting my profit target and I'm trading as best as I can to hit that profit target. But of course, you know, I didn't trade my best. I was selling early. I wasn't holding until my profit targets. I was getting good entries, but I just wasn't seeing my trades through. But yeah, so ending the day up 1390. It's far off of my profit target, but green is better than red because there were plenty of opportunities to be red, right? There were some nasty false breakouts and some flushes. And, but man, I was getting really good entries. I just need to hold until my profit target. That's it. And I think I'm well on my way to becoming a consistently profitable day trader, a wildly successful day trader, making thousands of dollars per day. I see it. It's coming. I just still have some things that I need to work on. But yeah, those are the trades from today. And again, if you guys like my trade recaps, and again, I'm sorry for not posting the last 2 months. I just had a lot going on, but I'm back and I'm excited to continue posting videos. And if you guys want to see more, please subscribe and hit that like button. And I will see you guys in the next video.